Hey, Curious Connerys. Dylan here. We just want to give you a heads up that the following program contains conversation relating to topics that may or may not include physical and sexual assault and self-harm and mistreatment of different cultures. We are in no way condoning these things. But given that Sean Connery has acted in films going back many years, they've tended to come up. To spin a phrase from Disney, many of these films include negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures that were certainly wrong then and are definitely wrong now. But rather than not discuss this content, we'd like to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and create conversation for a richer future. Stay curious, folks. And now, on to our show.
Connery Curious! Zionist! Last Crusade! You Only Live Twice! And the Anderson Tapes! Murder on the Orient Express! You never know what the wheel's gonna spin next! Marty and a woman of straw! An older man in Africa! We are curious of the filmography of Sir Sean Connery.
Mario Lima.
Dylan Titus.
This appears to be the way we start out every podcast. We say each other's names, and I'm fine with that.
I'm always wondering if we'll...
Curious.
I'm always curious, Connery curious, if we'll say another name. Miles Davis.
Stanley Whitman.
Ian Fleming.
Sandra
Bullock. Well, that's fun. Let's say a first name, and then I'll come up with a last name.
Theodore
Roosevelt.
Joseph
Gordon Levitt.
Alexandra
Oh, Alexandra. Hamilton.
Jane.
Fonda.
Alrighty.
There it is. Everyone's here. Good.
Cool.
All your favorite Marvel superheroes.
And with that must mean, the listing of the names must mean that it's time for another episode of Connery Curious.
Yes. Welcome in another fantastic podcast where, yes, me and my good pal Dylan here go through every single film in Sir Sean Connery's filmography. And today we have a fun one, 1962's The Longest Day. And some would say the longest film.
Yeah, that was my first joke, the longest movie. Now,
Longest.
before we get into that, Mario, how do we decide these films?
So we decided films each week by we made this giant blood-filled wheel. We call it filled with Connery's blood. That's what those are the rumors going around the internet that like that wheel must be filled with Connery's blood, and it's that's what powers the wheel. Like, no, it's actually this wheel of names, but you guys can predict anything you guys want. Whatever you guys believe, we'll let you guys believe it. But yes, each week we spin the Wheel of Curiosities, which has every single Connery film on it. So we spin the wheel, and whatever film that lands on, me and Dylan get together and discuss that film. Of course, you guys can discuss it along with us over on our socials and search Connery Curious on Instagram and Twitter. And so rent the movies, check your local libraries. There's a lot of these films are hard to find. This one wasn't that hard to find. It's on Prime. But just keep on listening. If guys, this is your first episode. First of all, great episode to start on.
Welcome to Connery Curious.
Welcome. I would suggest
come on in. Take a seat. Cozy up. There's a cat that walks around and she'll sit on your lap. Well, actually, she's less of a lap cat. She'll sit on like the edge, like the arm of the chair.
I thought
really
you were going to say the cat
snuggle.
comes around and will take your drink order.
Yes, that too. Yep. If you just, she's got a little collar. You just write your drink order on a little piece of paper and you slip it under the collar, and she brings it. And
to the head cat chef.
Yeah. And then an actual waiter comes out and brings you your drink because a cat can't carry the drink.
No, the actual waiter's a dog. It's just really weird.
Exactly. Yeah, he's just a pervert. It's a real dog.
Oh, hey. But,
it's a human.
Oh, yeah, it's a human dog. But anyways, yes, that's what we do each week.
It's a human dog.
It's Dog the Bounty Hunter. That's where he's been all this time.
He just got back from catching David Miscavige, and now he's here at working at our restaurant.
Yeah, it's our Connery Curious restaurant. If Sean Connery had a restaurant, what do you think it would? It would probably be a pub, right?
Yes,
Like
you're correct.
Small, like little Scottish pub.
He would be having it would be, Scottish fare.
Be like Guinness and fish and chips and hard-boiled eggs.
I
And
don't really. I mean, I like hard-boiled eggs occasionally. You put enough salt on them, they're good. You season them up.
I like deviled eggs.
I like angeled eggs.
Angel Day. Ah, yes. I like very sinful eggs, you see.
You dirty boy.
Oh, hey. It's egg curious.
Yeah, this fish and chips sounds good right now.
I love
corned beef and Reuben. Or something.
It's almost that
Something
time.
like that.
And
am I confusing him with Irish? He's Scottish. He's not Irish.
Somewhat. But I mean, don't they also eat those things, do I feel?
Well, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to give it a Google. What was Sean Connery's favorite meal?
I wonder. I want to guess it's fish and chips. Or maybe it's Russian caviar. Is that Russian caviar I talked about in You Only Live Twice?
I think that's from the first line, yeah. Sean Connery was a regular during filming in the 80s and had a favorite dish. Is now a menu favorite. Piccolo Mondo. Oh, okay.
Pickle o Mondo?
Piccolo Mondo. No, it's a restaurant review on TripAdvisor. It said Sean Connery liked to eat there a lot. Sean Connery's spiced beef with dumplings? Huh. What Sean Connery's favorite dish that his sister made?
Spiced beef with dumplings.
Shish kebab. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, shish kebab.
Neil Connery's favorite sandwich. Tuna salad sandwich. Oh. All right, this is not revealing.
Oh, fun fact, I just happened to come across a book called Double O Dining, a James Bond cookbook.
Huh.
And then there's
Should we get that?
it's as an ebook, it's $7, or the paperback is $24.95, or hardback
On eBay? What's it go for on eBay? Riveting podcasting.
I know what we're talking about. Well, this is what is it? Bearmanor.com. This is where it's here. So let's look at eBay. What did I just say it was? It was Double O Dining. Double O Dining. Here is on Amazon. Same amount. Well, a little more expensive on the Kindle side, $9.95.
Let's leave that as an open tab for later.
Yes.
I think.
And those are home. I say
Worth
check it
digging
out.
into.
I guess this is a fairly new book. Came out last year, I guess.
Yeah, let's dig into that let's get it and dig into it. Or at the very least, hold on, we're going to do a library search.
Check the library.
Check the library. Riveting podcasting. And you know why we're dragging this out so long is because it's to match the movie. Dragging things out. How do you spell it? Hold on. I'll just Google it. Hold on. Double O Dining. Double O Diner?
Oh, a 00 diner. Well, I told the story. I went to a 007 styled restaurant. Well, that was the one thing. The whole museum experience, it was great. It had the drinks and the cars and everything, but the food, not Bond themed. I was a little bummed out about that.
No?
All they had were like burgers, I think a turkey sandwich, and maybe some jalapeno poppers. Like, those aren't James Bond food items.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's about $25 on on eBay. Mario, may I make a small confession to you, my friend?
Yes.
I have a feeling I'm going to be Connor peeing a lot this episode because I already have to again.
Oh.
I don't know what the deal is. So, oh my gosh, logic is glitching out. Can we pause?
Pause.
Let's pause. Alrighty. We're back. That was weird. My computer's still kind of glitching, but we can record, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Anyway, how you doing today, Mario?
I'm doing okay, man. I feel refreshed. For those behind the scenes, recording a little later than usual, but this is nice. It's kind of like a sleepover.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we're just
It
kinda
really is.
hanging out, and we're talking about some movies.
Mom made popcorn,
Oh,
and we're going to be up until 4 in the goddamn morning watching The Longest Day.
it's honestly, it sounds like about right, because that's about as much time it's going to be to watch this film. It's a whopping, we'll just call it 3 hours.
258,
258, just.
With about 7 minutes of credits, I think.
Yeah, so long one for sure, and we'll get into it. There's
There's a lot to say.
a lot to say, but unfortunately, not a lot to say about Sean.
No. Well, there's a little bit to say about Sean, at least.
Yeah,
Just
without getting into it, it's every moment he was on screen was great.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm curious I'm kind of curious about how that's going to affect scores later, because I'm still thinking about a proper score for this.
Should
but
we
get there.
should we spoil how long Connery is in this film?
So I'm trying to think how we should talk about this today, because
Yeah.
I had a lot of time to marinate on it, because I finished watching it earlier today, and then I've just been roaming around. So I feel like we just talk about the Connery stuff first, and then talk about the film. Because this is a really good film. So, folks, this is a great film. Just to tell you how good it is, to this day, on the tomato meter, on Rotten Tomatoes, 87%, audience score of 90%. It's a really well-received movie. It's probably one of the better war movies I've seen in a while. Like, older war movies. Obviously, there's a lot of great stuff nowadays. But, really good. But I think we talked about this on the last show, when we've actually essentially rolled the wheel. Connery is pretty low on the credits. He's up there, but he's pretty low.
And we'll get into the reason for that.
Yeah. Great cast. I mean, obviously, we had an all-star cast here, but yeah, Connery definitely wasn't the center of it. But so I guess. So yeah, what do you think about that? Maybe we talk about Connery first, and then get into the film.
On that subject, I'm just looking through Wiki here. Brendan Gill of The New Yorker called the film a tour de force of audiovisual verisimilitude, but confessed that my emotions were hardly ever engaged, and I ended, rather to my embarrassment, being bored. Excuse me. He continued by saying, Mr. Zanuck made it all the harder for me to take this mock documentary seriously by stuffing it with innumerable celebrated actors, most of whom make such fugitive appearances that the audience finds itself engaged in a distracting game of instant identification.
I feel that. I really feel that.
I think that's a great summation of the film.
Yeah, because I'll say here, everything from the last hour and maybe then a halfway point of the film, that's when I kind of not dozed off, but I kind of got lost in, because some of those action sequences, fine, they're good for their time, of course, but I just feel some of it ran too long, and then you get lost in the story and these other characters. Because that's the thing with films. Obviously, you don't need to be a recognizable person to catch my interest, but I want to see more of John Wayne. John Wayne's in this movie, for God's sakes. And you forget.
I didn't want any more of John Wayne.
No? Are you not a John
No.
Wayne fan?
No. I don't love John Wayne in the things I've seen him in. I have 2 copies of The Searchers, and I have yet to watch either of them. But I know that's the film.
But you're going to watch both
Spielberg.
versions one day.
Well, just one's DVD and one's Blu-ray.
Oh, okay.
But the DVD version is a massive collector's edition that I got for an insanely good price.
Okay.
And I know that's the film that Spielberg watches before he directs anything. Search for some of the notes I wrote about John Wayne. You go ahead and talk.
All right, so yeah, going back to that whole thing with like, yeah, I agree with that statement you just read, where it's like, yeah, you get those bursts of like, oh, I recognize that person, especially for us being Bond fans. We saw a couple of recognizable people. We saw Orc Goldfinger himself for only 2 simple scenes of him riding by on a horse.
Yes, and then where's the second one?
The second one's when the attack actually happens, and like it's like the same scene again, where it's like, oh, there he is walking by again, and then you see the enemy ships coming in, and then he's like, holy shit, and his horse runs off, and then we never see him again.
Oh, I didn't even see him in that.
Yeah, it's like twice. It looks like they recycled the same shot from the beginning of the movie too. Like it looks like they just had him for that one day, and they were like, all right, we're gonna shoot your scene and go on from there. Same thing with we saw a good amount of him. Strongberg, I forget the actor's name.
Yes, Kurt Jurgens.
Which
he's got a big role in this.
Yeah, but I did mark down we don't see him until 1 hour and 39 minutes. That's his first appearance, from what I remember. And then shortly after Connery's first.
I'm sorry. I'm skimming through the film at this moment to try and find a clip of John Wayne so I can like demonstrate what I'm talking about his acting while you talk. All right, I got one. Continue. I'm sorry.
Like we talk often about cuts of movies and like how I would cut a movie, and I could see some cutting in there, but like there's also things that you can't fix with cutting, and that is just like just seeing like some more actors you want to see more of, and it's a shame, but anyways, go on about your John Wayne analysis.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I think I found his first scene in the movie, and it really sums up like how I feel about him. I'll punch in some clips, but like okay, one of the first notes that I have, it's like, I don't think I have to remind you
that this war's been going on for almost 5 years. Over half of Europe has been overrun and occupied. We're comparative newcomers. England's gone through a blitz with a knife at her throat since 1940. I'm quite sure that they too are impatient and itching to go. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir. Quite clear.
That's the worst line in any film. Like Mario, I don't think I have to remind you that we've been friends for 10 years. You know? Like, I don't think I have to remind you that you wear glasses, okay? All right? And you just got married and came back and had COVID and, you know, like...
I don't think I got to remind you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get too personal. I was just thinking of, like, an immediate situation that of course you know this. It's just his way of acting.
He's very like you know, like obviously John Wayne is more your Western. I think John Wayne, I think a True Grit, you know, stuff like that. So it's like that is fine there. Where it's like, you know, listen here, Pilgrim, and all that stuff and that. But like I could see it doesn't really work in the situation. I feel.
I've seen him in so little. I have nothing to compare it to. There's nothing I can do to like convey what I find so off-putting about it. You know, like the moment. There's no one moment. Literally, there's no moment I can conjure to describe how much I. Okay, there was one moment where I wrote, I dislike John Wayne. He makes people cart him around, and then immediately after I said I forgot about his broken leg. So it's like I have an unjustified hate, but like I guarantee you, just like watch this movie with me, and I think you'd be sitting there with me and you'd be like, fuck John Wayne, man. He's something about him's off and like very dominant, and like clearly he doesn't let anybody tell him anything.
North by east. Amerigleese is that way. Somebody's turned that sign around. Doesn't anybody in this outfit look at a compass besides me?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Let's go by notes, I guess, and we'll just get to Connery. Do we want to just do that? Keep it Connery curious?
Yeah, because it's gonna be a lot to get there. Because I'll be real with you, I don't have a ton of notes here just because of that reason of like.
I have a lot of notes, dude. I have almost 2 pages of notes.
Look at that. You're more into it than me, I guess.
Yeah.
So let's go by your notes here, and I'll fill in with where my notes match up.
Okay, so we'll get this out of the way. This movie is 2 hours and 58 minutes long.
A long
Sean
movie.
Connery doesn't show up until 1 hour and 58 minutes.
And 55 seconds.
And 55 seconds. Yes, I wrote that as well.
I think I took a lot of screenshots, a few screenshots. But actually, I have the actual like
Timestamp.
Yeah, like I screenshotted the actual image. Like this is the first frame.
Yep, I
you
have that
see,
as well.
like right there, and it says right there at
Now-
the bottom.
Let's get into that real quick. Do you see the person that's next to him?
Yes.
That is an actor named Norman Rossington, and I got all excited because so a little BTS, we were supposed to have a guest last week. That guest will be joining us on a different episode because they had a conflict, schedule-wise, not a physical conflict. Anyway, he and I are big Beatles fans, and we always quote A Hard Day's Night to each other. Norman Rossington, in 1964, is in A Hard Day's Night playing the character of Norm, one of the road managers of the Beatles.
Oh no way!
Yep.
Look at that.
I love that movie. You ever seen that film?
Yeah, I was like, that's not our first Hard Day's Night comparison on the show.
No, it's not.
That's like we had a
and
few.
it won't be our last.
Oh yeah, there's going to be quite a few, I'm sure.
Yeah, plenty of British actor crossover in that film. Oh, you know what we could do? Like the Man Who Would Be King from Russia With Love one that's been blowing up on Instagram. We then cross that with the Beatles' Hard Day's Night, where they're running outside the train on the bike and like, can we have our ball back, mister?
We've had a lot of train. I think we have to put together a like train compilation because we have so many train scenes, including in this movie. We had a really wild train scene in this one.
That was one of my favorite
Like
scenes.
last week, we were talking about trains blowing up, and we're like, oh, they only did the middle of the train. This one, they did the front of the train in a very scary shot. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Because I'm like,
that my jaw dropped on that one.
I was like, because there's no way that's a miniature, right?
I didn't think so.
Like, that was.
I did not think so. If anything, it was a miniature blown up on a screen with the actor in the foreground.
There's no way that looked.
It
looked,
felt like it was real. There was so much real shit in this film.
Yeah.
But also, there was so much real stuff in this film where it was actual war footage, and oftentimes it was really hard to tell, but oftentimes it was very easy to tell, which
is why I think that's why they went with the black and white. I feel because
yeah, they could have done it in color, but also budget was still a thing at that point for color, I believe.
I think that's what year is this? This is 62.
Yeah, and it was a budget of $7.7 million.
Wow. I think I made 10 million.
Made $50 million.
50 really? Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Jesus.
Now, Dr. No had a budget of $1 million, and it made. I just know $1 million off the top of my head. 1.1 million made 59.5 million.
So, it's funny to think. I kept thinking that like Dr. No is like really soon after this.
It's the next film he does.
So it's like.
So this is released September 25th in the U.S. and October 23rd, 1962 in the UK.
What?
And Dr.
what got
No
him
comes
the
out
job?
October 5th, 1962. So actually, in the UK, Dr. No comes out first.
Ah.
Yeah. Look at that.
Gee whiz, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I say we talk Connery because it's so short.
Let's just get it. Yeah.
It's so short. We might
He's
as well.
in this for a total of a minute and a half.
Yeah.
I think so. I didn't accumulate the time, but
It sounds about right, but like it just there's so many funny things about this, both actually funny and just tonally funny.
he's very funny in this.
Yeah, and the movie changes tone when he gets off that boat. We're like in a Monty Python sketch.
The movie changes tone every 35 seconds.
Yeah.
And there's too much comedy in this D-Day film. This is a film about the Normandy invasion.
Yeah, and like
the
it
landings
gets,
at Normandy on June 6, 1944.
and
Now,
it's so weird.
Like, this is what Saving Private Ryan was based on, right?
Yeah.
I still haven't watched Saving Private Ryan.
I think I've watched it maybe once.
Yeah, June 6, 1944. I can't imagine this film is nearly as comedic as The Longest Day
Yeah, that
is trying to be.
There were no bicycles on the beach. Like, remember that one scene?
Yeah,
where,
there's a dude that shows up. Okay, there's so much in this film that I forget a lot of it. I gotta be honest, it overwhelmed me. So much so that I have to contemplate again.
Oh, there, hit it.
I'm so sorry, Mario.
We'll get through this. There it is, and we're back.
I'm sorry about that, my friend. I don't know what's come over me today.
It's late. It's a weird time, but it's good.
Yeah, for behind the scenes, it's 11:30 at night right now.
And we're covering this 3-hour movie with 1 minute of Connery.
All right. On that subject, was it painful for you?
It was definitely weird. I'll say this, probably less painful for you because you only did you do 2 sittings for this?
Yeah, but it was very painful, both sittings, I gotta say.
I did 1 full sitting of the whole movie.
Oof. And this is not to say that this is a bad film. This is just a lot of movie. Like, a lot of movie.
It is. I was just discussing this, with my wife. Like,
Oh my God, you can say that now.
Yeah, it's not weird to say now. It's weird to come out of my mouth.
I don't know. I can't say it. I mean, I can say it. It doesn't matter. It's not like there's a law against it. Like, Mr. Titus, you are on trial. We find you guilty for saying wife when you're not married. And you get 9 years in prison.
Oh, people say all the time, like, "Oh, let's go
You'll
see
get
the
a wife in prison, I tell you."
Get a wife
Sorry.
in prison. But yeah, I was talking about man, we're not many movies were this long. I thought back then, because we talk about Marvel movies nowadays are 3 hours. Like we said through Endgame, a 3-hour film, and then now everything seems to be 3 hours. But I didn't think there were many 3-hour films back then. But this must have been one of the few, I guess, with this long runtime. I was shocked.
Can't imagine.
That must be where most of the budget goes, is just film. And whoever had to edit this fucking movie, Jesus Christ.
I'm just looking. I mean, I don't think. Excuse me. All right. 20 longest movies of all time. That's not correct, but okay. Gone with the Wind is 3 hours and 58 minutes.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in America is 3 hours 49. Lawrence of Arabia 3:36. Ben-Hur 3:32. Cleopatra 4 hours 8.
Oh.
Apocalypse Now 3:22.
Well, Justice League must be in there now because that was 4 hours, right?
Right. Spartacus 3:17. Schindler's List 3:15. Titanic 3:14.
Is Titanic 3 hours?
Yeah. 3:14.
I never realized.
I'm looking for films around that time. But yeah, this,
So it's not super out of the ordinary.
it's not uncommon. It's an epic.
Yeah,
It's literally defined as an epic.
Yeah, it's like you said. There's a lot to remember, and
So much to take in.
yeah, and there's just and especially when you're trying to, and you're anticipating. For us it's different too because we're anticipating.
We're waiting for our boy.
We're looking for Connery, and we're like, where is he? And where is he? And
Where is he? Where's 007?
and he just hasn't shown up yet. And so much where we'll share this on the social medias, but when I was watching it, I was so bored that I took pauses and I would make stupid little edits. And at one point I edit
dude, I'm so happy you did that.
The German guard on we'll share it on Instagram, but he's looking at the shore. It's moments before the attack actually happens, and he's looking around. It's all clear. And the way he looks off to the side on the beach, I decided to put in the scene from A Spy Who Loved Me, The Spy Who Loved Me, when the Lotus is coming out of the water and,
That's so perfect.
and Roger Moore drops the fish. I'm like, there was so little Connery. I had to put a different James Bond in the movie for me, so I could spend time with Roger Moore for a few minutes because of how long it's taken to have Connery in here.
My bosses gave me bad news today. And then, right after I stepped outside of that room, I got your message and opened it and just watched the video and just started laughing so loud. Genuinely, though. And they must have not known what was going on. You're like, wow, he handled that bad news pretty well.
They thought you were becoming the Joker. No, I was watching this funny Roger Moore longest day crossover. So we hope
that
to share
made
that.
my day.
Well, hopefully,
What was that?
hopefully it'll make other people's days too. We'll have that on the social. I have a longer cut of it because it's perfect. Because the scene directly before it is, let's call him Strongberg because I can't remember his name.
Right? Kurt Jurgens,
where he's talking to his one of his officers and saying there's he had a bottle of gin or something he wanted to open. Not a best occasion. Then he goes to the window, looks out the window, and we cut to that scene at the beach. So I'm like, oh, how perfect to have it. That's what made me. You got to do a Spy Who Loved Me crossover. It just has to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments we can have Roger Moore riding the little jet ski.
We could have him on the gondola.
Yeah, there's so many Bond moments that could cross over with this. And there's so many edits that I want to do with this film. Excuse me. One of the edits that I want to do with this is to take the dialogue and to edit it in a pornographic manner. Because so many of these lines of dialogue is just so have you ever read the comic Saga?
Oh yeah, yes.
You've read Saga?
I haven't got into it, but I have a bunch of copies of it. I think I started it.
Read Saga. It's the best comic ever written. It's amazing. And it makes a great point that the opposite of war is not peace. The opposite of war is fucking. Yeah. Violent action to hurt each other. Well, what would the opposite of that be? Violent action to please each other. Right? So many lines of dialogue, just a simple, edit here or there to be paired with a different line of dialogue or taken on its own, excuse me. It's are they talking about having each other?
Oh, great example. Here are my notes. I have a whole section for quotes, and I have a whole section for Connery quotes, which is everything he said was a Connery quote.
Yes. Did you write them down?
I did.
Or screenshot them? Because I didn't take in everything he said. I took in everything he said, but I didn't write it down.
Yeah, I have all the good ones here. But a quote from earlier in the movie.
All four things he says?
It's exactly four things I have here.
Oh, man.
Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yep, I have exactly four things.
Wow.
But I think there was something else. But anyways, one of my other favorite quotes was, "Snap it up, jerk the lead."
Yep.
Which is
I wrote that down. Shake the lead.
Shake the lead?
Snap it up. Shake the lid. Snap it up. Shake the lid.
Well, jerk the lead's fun too.
Yeah, I'm going to take that quote I'm going to take that quote, and I'm going to take, I say go. Go.
I say go, 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 go.
Go, 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 snap it up, shake the lead, snap it up, shake the lead, snap it up, shake the lead, you know.
Do I make myself clear?
Let's see. Another quote I have here is, put this cup in the game. I like the sound that it makes coming out of the cup when they're playing like that weird card game or whatever.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
And I was like, what the fuck was even that game? It's like here.
It was dice, clearly, but
just like he made
he
made $2,000.
Yeah, $2,500. Yeah, the dice game, all caps with an underline, and then he just leaves his money unattended.
It's all
and
crumpled
tells
up.
us his backstory. Tells nobody his backstory.
Yeah, and he's kind of like
the camera.
And yeah, he's like, why do you have to mention that? Where I was at that specific place and I broke the specific bone.
Yeah,
and
I do like that little storyline though. Like right after he got lucky gambling, he got injured the next day in battle.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, I guess I'll go lose this money now. Like, no, send it back. Send it home. And yeah, the way he so enthusiastically shakes the dice, whatever, it's sexual in nature. There's so much in this movie that is sexual in nature because there's one woman in this movie.
I do have the trick in this movie is the old beautiful girl on a bike trick.
I called it the old date trick.
Date trick, okay.
Because they're trying to cross in their cart, and then this pretty lady comes by on a bike, and she doesn't say anything, but you can tell she's like, the guards are like, oh, we're gonna get a date out of this. Look at that.
The old date trick.
I don't have time for you, person with a cart. I want to talk to this pretty lady and get a date with this pretty lady. The old date trick.
The old date trick.
That is clever.
Because they kind of use it twice, but not really successfully in the second. Well, kind of. They lead one guard away and then able to get the other.
Yeah, it doesn't
guard.
work the second time.
Yeah, but then we get that
scary. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she almost drowns, and they gotta just brutally murder people.
Yeah, and that's when a train sequence happens. Where we're like, oh my god, that was probably the high. That's probably the highlight for the movie for me. Honestly, like one of the.
I agree.
Like the train scene, like any train scene will always get my attention since Back to the Future 3. I'm like, I love a good train scene with exploding trains.
Yeah. We got it in the last film.
Yeah, but
Molly
but I remember.
Wow, I feel like we've forgotten to carry on this theme, but that's how this film relates to the last one. Let's carry on. Let's backtrack on ones we missed. Okay, so this one relates to Molly Maguire's with the exploding train. How does Molly Maguire's relate to Good Man in Africa? Sorry to
Good Man in Africa.
Sidestep so much. It's about corrupt leaders in the mining industry and the president of
okay, here's one
of that country that doesn't exist is corrupt. Maybe. What were you saying?
That's it. Connery says, stop sticking your wick in everything, you're getting infected. I think they use a wick to set a building on fire.
Okay, all right, wicks.
Wicks.
Yep. When you dip your wick, you'll get infected.
And they infected the city with
infected the mines and infected the city with violence.
Yes,
using their wicks.
There it is.
All right, that's the tenuous at best, but connected by a loose wick.
Don't stick your wick in some pie.
No.
Was that weird that Connery called me that last episode? I meant to tell you about that.
Yeah,
was that
dude.
Weird?
And why did it happen when I was in the bathroom?
I don't know.
I've gone to the bathroom twice already. You better not have called while I was gone.
I don't think he called. We'll check. I'll check my voicemail after this.
Okay. You're not lying to me, are you?
No, I wouldn't lie. If Connery calls, I'm not going to not tell you.
Why do I get the feeling like you're not telling me?
I wouldn't lie to you, Dylan.
Wink, wink.
All right. Anyway, so how does A Good Man in Africa connect to Shalico? It's people in a foreign land
Hats.
facing trouble in a foreign land.
Really
Hats.
cool hats.
They don't really have much of a connection.
Yeah, there's. I mean,
Oh, if stuffy British people.
yes.
Duh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
stuffy British people not understanding their environment. They don't understand Shango, and they don't understand the Native Americans.
Okay, there we go. I was gonna say.
Chato and Chato.
Oh yeah.
Shango and Chato. Excuse me, Shango and Chato. Pretty close in sound, and two things that are not understood by the stuffy local British people.
True.
Sorry. What were you going to say? I
I was
apologize.
say it was the wrong movie, but what was the ones that they both were Christmas? It was Good Man Africa and Cuba, right?
Cuba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we also connected that we think that Connery's the same character in both of those movies.
Yes. But how does Cuba connect to Shalico?
I don't know.
And how does Cuba connect to Action of the Tiger? And how does Action of the Tiger connect to the Avengers?
Nothing fucking connects to Action of the Tiger. That one's a hard one. Boats, maybe? I don't know. Are there boats?
Well, Cuba and Action of the Tiger are both about getting people out of a war-torn place to safety,
True.
right?
Yeah.
He wants to get Brooke Adams out of the country before the revolution. And Action of the Tiger, the country is falling apart. We got to get my brother out of there.
Right.
How does Action of the Tiger connect to the Avengers? Oh, Connery is a horrible rapist.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh. And then Avengers connects to Sword of the Valiant because they're both fever dreams. And then Sword of the Valiant to First Knight, obviously, and then First Knight to Man Who Would Be King, obviously, because Sean Connery is king in both of them.
Yeah.
And then everything connects to the introduction and the fact that we named them all.
That would have been funny if he said, like, and sort of Valiant, he's also a creepy rapist.
Yeah, he's not a rapist in that movie.
He's just creepy.
He like propositions a woman after he turns her into a frog. She's like, stay with me the night? He's like, maybe.
Maybe, perhaps.
I'll keep you as a frog.
Who's going to deal me my blow? We got to rewatch that movie.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do a commentary track for
That's
that
the
film.
one we got to do a commentary track for.
That's our first commentary track for it. Come on over. We'll watch it with the surround sound.
Let's do it.
Let's get that film on Blu-ray.
Yes.
Does it exist on Blu-ray?
Oh, it's gotta. Maybe.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It looks like it's a fan-made thing, but it's also like a really nice box. I'll share my screen with you. See, it's the nice poster.
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite poster.
I hope it's real. $35. Jeez. I don't know if I'm willing to pay that.
There's a regular DVD of it for $40.
$40.
Oh, they sell the poster. There's a original rolled poster on eBay for $28. And there's like a regular. I kind of want this. Do I buy this?
Share it with me.
Do I buy this? Oh my god. Where is it? This is. I don't know.
Oh yeah, dude, for $30, that's not bad.
Like it's,
Get it framed for like 25 or something.
yeah. I mean, that's. I do actually like this poster.
Dude, it's a beautiful poster. It really is.
I like it. That's like that. This is what people do for posters nowadays, man. We just talked about this on a previous episode of like Bond posters, how boring they are now, and how they kind of fell off. Like they started getting bad probably, I guess, probably Pierce Brosnan. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not nuts about those ones. I kind of like the Die Another Day one, but
There's a better version of the Die Another Day poster out there. If I could find it.
whoa, look at this poster. Again, riveting podcasting.
Ooh,
at this poster.
that one's dope.
Yeah. Men of Iron, Blades of Steel.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I do like this Die Another Day poster with the ice, and you can see everybody in the ice. That one's cool.
I wasn't even thinking of that. I was thinking of the blue one.
But they're like pointing down, like this one.
Yeah, that one. I kind of like that.
Well,
Even though it's like really cheesy. Oh, look at this poster.
ooh.
Yeah.
Anyways, we should probably talk about Longest Day a little bit.
yeah, but I mean, Sword of the Valiant's so good.
It is.
We gotta, yeah. Come on over. We'll watch it on the surround sound. Well, you know what? Let's just go. Let's go in. Let's buy this Blu-ray. It's $40. Why not? You know. Wait a second. 17. Oh, it's the DVD. I don't want the DVD. I want the Blu-ray. I want an HD conversion. And you know, worst case.
What's that one on the stand? There's like another copy on
Seller does not accept returns. On the stand? Where?
that go down right.
Oh, this one.
there.
Okay.
How much is that one? Also,
Factory sealed, 45. Returns, 30-day returns if it's not legit.
look, the back is nice.
Yeah. And I wonder if it's in... Oh, it's in widescreen, too, because the version we watched was in full screen. Yeah, I think we should split this. And go in on this.
That's a nice little box.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'd have this on my shelf.
Sure, I would show that proudly.
Yeah, you want to split custody of this?
We could.
I know that's not displaying it proudly on my shelf. We'd have to split that, but you know what I mean. Like $45 is a lot to spend on one Blu-ray of a movie that's not really that great. Ultimately,
we'll discuss it. But all right, let's talk about the fun stuff. Like, so obviously, I think listening to this, we're not that crazy about this movie.
Clearly, I'm not a big war movie person. It depends on what it is. This one was a little too slow for me, and I found myself watching a lot of it at 1.5 speed.
Really?
Especially all the battle stuff.
Yeah.
No patience for battles.
Yeah, I'll be real with you. I kind of fast forward towards the end of some of the end battle scenes. Like, there's some of the. I was like, I'm not missing any details here.
No, and the overacting when everyone gets shot and rolls like 18 times.
Yes.
Like, you just got to skip through that. And it's funnier in 1.5 speed. That's one of my notes.
Well, all right, so let's talk about the hour, 58 minute, and 55 seconds where we hit our first look at Sean Connery. And the first quote that comes out of his mouth is, "You hear that? Dunkirk. Do you hear it? Hear it, Clough, that's his name? He went to school." That's the first thing he says. Second thing he says, "Come on, you bums." And then this one really made me laugh. "Come out, you dirty slobs. Flanagan is back." And that got me really excited because he was like ready to go, and he's a fucking buffoon. And he falls in the water, and he says, I think my favorite quote he said in the whole movie, "The evil of it all, drowning a man before he even has a chance to fight." Which that wins my Connery quote, I think, for
Yes, that was also my favorite Connery quote. The other Connery quote I really enjoyed, though I didn't write down any of his quotes because, to be honest, I was just so happy to see him and I was busy writing so many other things.
It was like
there's
seeing a good
moment-
friend at like at a party or something. Like, oh my god, thank
Yeah.
God you're here.
And you exactly, but you don't have enough time to say anything meaningful to them, like, and you haven't seen them in so long. There's a moment he's always on screen with Norman Rossington. There's not a moment where he's on screen alone. And one moment where they're lying on the ground and Norman Rossington remarks at how annoying the bagpipe player is.
That's the thing. The whole Scottish army was hilarious.
Well, Connery remarks that the bagpipe player is Irish.
Oh, really?
And that's why he sucks. Well, on that scene, I want to keep Norman Rossington's dialogue of being annoyed at the bagpipes, and then replace Connery's dialogue with it's like listening to the Beatles without earmuffs. Because 2 years later, Norman Rossington would be in a movie being annoyed with the Beatles.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
That's our crossover.
yeah. I love A Hard Day's Night, man. That's such a good movie. And there's so many scenes in this which I could easily splice with A Hard Day's Night.
A lot of bonding connections you can make, obviously with the actors. We have, honestly, probably some of my favorite villains. You have Goldfinger and Stromberg,
And Peter Van Eyck
Yep.
from Shalako.
Yep.
Another great villain. I'd say he's the villain of that movie.
But I'm talking like Bond stuff.
Yes, that's true.
I had one thing in my notes saying the beach at the beginning. Was it towards the beginning? Yeah, I mean, we see obviously at the end too. It reminded me of the beach from the opening sequence after the gun barrel of Die Another Day. Speaking of Die Another Day.
yes, the North Korean
It
beach.
looked just like it. I kind of wanted to splice that, but it didn't look right with the different times of day. And then
There's no night scenes in this movie.
they tried to make it look like night.
Yeah. Well, actually, there is. Yeah, the dropping in.
Yeah, when the guys, that's most.
the paratroopers. Oh, that scene is brutal.
Yeah, that's tense. Like that's what I'm talking about. Of like the tone of this movie is like you have serious and like scary scenes like that, but then you have a guy on a fucking bicycle in the beach. It's
Yeah.
just like
And
crazy.
And to that same extent, that horrible slaughter scene where they're paratrooping and they overshoot their target and land in the town, even that, I wrote it down. Where is it? I'm going out of orders, really. Really messing me up here. Wake up. What did I... So I wrote parachute comedy. And one of the guys just parachutes right into a well.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? Like, so many of their landings are played for comedy.
Yeah, it's like Benny Hill. Yeah, like they're crashing into like chicken coops and like into greenhouses.
Oh, that's why I wrote "Wake Up," because it's like, the one who crashes into the chicken coop goes, because the chickens start clucking and he goes, "Quiet, or you'll wake up all of Germany," or whatever it is.
Blind, mate. You wake up the old bloomin' German army.
It's clearly played for comedy. Like, I messed up that quote 3 times. I guess I'll just punch
It's
it in.
fine. But yeah, even
But he
like,
yells it while he's trying to stay quiet. And literally, it's preceded by that great tense scene of the woman going out to the outhouse and seeing the paratrooper, and he just goes, shh. And she just quietly goes back to her house.
Yeah. So it's like great scenes like that, but then they feel like they get ruined by like these weird little goofy moments. And I'm kind of like confused as to like, I have to look back. I'm like, is it supposed to be a comedy? Like, is like,
I don't know if they get ruined by them. It's just they take me out of them for a
it
second.
takes me, it makes me confused. If I have to be confused tonally, you know, I think it's what like people had issues with, like with the Pierce Brosnan Bond films, going back to Bond, where like the tone is like kind of weird, where you try to play it serious, but then like you have these like really goofy scenes that take you out of it. It's kind of like, why don't we just stick to a recipe and go with it and stop changing flavors? You know, it's like, what's going on?
I think this would tonally, it's very similar to Cuba in the way that. Because that was directed by Richard Lester. It's a mostly serious movie, but then you get these weird moments of comedy that just like even the beginning, those opening credits, you just get like the slovenly businessman getting ink all over his hands, and it's played for laughs. You know what I mean? And then to another extent, A Good Man in Africa, where that's mostly a comedy, but then you get these weird moments of drama that like sting through these scenes, or vice versa, because that movie's again tonally just kind of all over the place.
Right.
But there's some really great stuff in this movie too. Should we go in order of notes?
I would say let's for a time's sake, I think we just pull off our like favorite moments of the movie, and just like kind of.
Because I wrote so much down.
Well, if you want to go through your notes, by all means.
Yeah, I won't. I'll make it quick.
Yeah, go.
'Cause I realize it's midnight. But I mean, I do have I wrote 2 pages of notes, so I clearly have thoughts on this film.
Yeah,
I don't get why, because it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, because I was struggling to like really write notes myself, because I'm kind of like I don't know I don't know what's noteworthy, and like I'm trying to like focus on the film too. It's like I look down and like it moves way too quick, and there's too much to process, and it's insane. But
I have so many notes because there was so much to process. So much I wanted to share. Okay, so my first note is that the Blu-ray trailer was Jumper.
Okay.
And that was the only trailer, and I don't understand why. 1 minute 22 seconds, we get Gert Frobe, Goldfinger. Let's talk about that green screen.
Oof.
Where Rommel just disappears right in the middle of the shot, and then pops back in.
Reappears.
Yeah, see, this is why I had to make these notes. This stuff worth talking about in here. Snap it up, shake the lead. I don't think I have to remind you. Then in another moment, that John Wayne goes, I've got 3 million men out there. Hands on his hips. I've got 3 million men out there waiting for an order. And it just made me want to cut it with the Naked Gun.
3 million men penned up on this island. All over England and staging areas like this. We're on the threshold of the most crucial day of our times.
Do you have any idea what was out there just 5 years ago?
Yeah!
You bet you do. Orange groves, acres of them, as fat as the eye could see.
The dice game. After the dice game, his bunkmate says he's going to sneak over there and give it a big wang.
I think I sneak over there and give it a big wang myself.
Again, more military talk.
He said, like, why not? There's nothing to lose.
Why not? What's to lose?
I mean, your money.
Which I will now leave unattended while I monologue to the camera about my history. Do you notice he has his left eyebrow is a big check mark, and the other one's not? The other one's just normal, but the left one is like, good Lord, trim that horn.
Check, mate.
I like that he loses his money for luck. Then we get our first scene with Richard Burton. And the actor that he's acting with is doing his best pre-Robin Williams. Did you notice that? Do you know what I'm talking about? There's so much movie I can totally understand if you don't remember what I'm talking about.
If you explain, I might remember it.
Richard Burton is like drinking because he's depressed about the uncertainty of whether they will be going or not. Which I really like. The first half of the film is like just everyone's on edge because they don't know if this is going to happen or not. We're just waiting in reserve. And whatever actor is acting alongside him is very much doing a Robin Williams kind of thing, but before Robin Williams.
Oh, okay.
I'll punch in clips of it here.
He's bought it?
That leaves just you in the squadron, Dave. I mean of the old 1940 mob. Poor old Johnny. Bad luck it happening just now. And now if the big show starts tonight, he won't be in it.
And then all of a sudden, in that same scene, the audio becomes mixed like it's a narration. Did you notice that?
No, I don't think
the audio mix just suddenly changes because it's clearly been ADR'd, but it becomes like very reverby, and it for a split second I'm like, is this now narration?
I've got a letter to write. I've had this feeling since I woke up this morning. I've had it with me all day long. I know it is.
All right. It's tonight. Suits me fine.
There is narration in this film a lot of times, like people's inner monologue and thoughts.
I don't think I know. I don't think I noticed that.
Like, hold the base. Hold until relieved. Like me with all these Connor P's. The opposite of war is fucking. I'm going to edit the audio to be erotic. And then, yeah, at 33:54, I say go. Go. When all the politicians are sitting at the table deliberating. And it can be edited as, I say go. Go. Go, 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 go. And then I'm gonna make it work. I made this joke earlier. Dwight Eisenhower says, "I don't like it," and then he smiles. Like, I don't know if that's an acting choice or.
Interesting.
Rupert, what'd you think of Rupert?
Rupert, which one was he?
Rupert is the dummy that explodes, and they just set him off in front of all the dudes.
So, okay.
Here's how he works.
So that made me... So why would they set it off there when they clearly needed it, like, by the fucking, like, front of their, like, main office? Like,
right?
Like, that drove me
And why did they
insane.
set it off in just a room full of people that... those are soldiers that they're going to need? What if it kills 8 of them?
Yeah, right? Oh, my God.
And also one of... You okay there? What just flashed?
No, I'm actually opening up the movie so I can watch along here.
So I'm guessing this would be about 35, 36 minutes in or so. 34? I don't know. But also, you think any of them, any of these lonely military boys were using Rupert as a fuck doll?
Oh, they had to be.
Careful, don't hit him here. He'll explode.
This could be this is like our first Bond gadget. Yes, 007, it's a dummy that explodes.
His name is Rupert, you see. Simply throw him at the enemy.
Rupert was the same dummy that Q threw the bowlers at. The little bowls Q? Bowlers 007.
This is our new device for catching pedophiles. For Queen and Country, right? John has a long mustache.
Yes.
That's the poem line that really sets off that guy and gets him all excited. the guy that rides the bike onto the beach.
Oh yeah, and he like the one he's like his wife or whatever's in the room.
Yeah, or mother. Who knows? She looks much older, but also as old as he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they could both be a nebulous of 70 to 90.
And he puts the radio like in the cabinet while it's still on.
While it's still on, and the Kirk confusion, like the look on her face is like she's never operated the radio before, and now she has to smash it. She doesn't understand the devil that lives inside of it.
Oh my God, this box is talking.
He gets home, honey, where's my radio? I destroyed it.
Well, that she
now our house
talk.
will be free of these demons.
Does she even talk? I feel like she's like mute the whole.
No, not at all.
So it's like.
So I really liked that scene. Okay, my next note is the divorced man is looking right into the camera and is the worst actor. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's a scene where a guy just rambles about how his wife is leaving him, and the guy is like listening and sharing advice with this man, and then the guy who's listening walks away, and someone goes, "Who was that guy?" The guy says, "I don't know. I've never met him before." I really liked that scene, but the guy who's... Oh, damn, did I just give myself a paper cut? I think I did. I didn't. Anyway, the guy who's getting divorced or finding out his wife is leaving him is the worst actor in the movie. He is staring right at the camera the whole time, and everything he says is like... He, like, emphasizes the stare at the camera when he's like, well, I guess that's just the lesson one has to learn. And he, like, looks right at the camera. And it's like, another take, maybe? No? And it's a long take. There's a lot of long takes in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Keep going through. The dock on the German side... Anybody can make a mistake. What? Oh, the doctor lands on the German side. And he goes, anybody can make a mistake. I like that. That was funny, but my notes are so vague because there's so much in the movie.
Did we pass by the Nazi birthday party?
I must have, but you haven't, because, and we will reference this on our social media because Mario, in 2 days, it's your birthday.
It's going to be my birthday, and I hope to have a cake as delicious as this.
Well, I mean, I'm skipping a little bit forwards in my notes because I think I did make a note about it. I guess I didn't. Well, there's a second birthday scene in the film towards the end, and there's like a giant bundt cake with one big candle sticking out of it, like a Christmas decorative candle.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Well, not a birthday candle, and not like a large scented room candle.
A wax candle.
Yeah, like a big, long Christmas wax candle, like one that's like a big carrot. You know?
Stop sticking your wick in your birthday cake.
Don't stick your wick in some pie. That's what I heard Connery said at one point in his life. I can't imagine he would ever say it outside of his life, because after one dies, they don't say anything that's like ever related to what they said in life, because why would you do that? You said it all when you were alive. You'd say new things when you were dead.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I've never loved big movie gunfights, so yeah, a lot of them were watched in 1.5 speed. Okay, I loved the stabbing that cuts to the train whistle.
Yeah, right.
Do you know what I'm talking about? When they sneak up on the guard and stab him, and then his scream is the train whistle.
Yeah, it reminded me of that happens, I think, from Rush with Love, something like that.
I think it's
Rush with Love, and definitely talking about again Spy Who Loved Me, when Jaws in the closet in the train.
Yeah,
and that's a jump scare, is the train whistle, and you see the up close of Jaws, and I was like, holy shit! So that's a cool. I like that. That's a fun little movie trick.
Yes. Did you see I haven't seen House of Gucci, but I've seen this one clip from it where it's Jared Leto's character about to cry, and it cuts right to a car horn.
Really, really.
It's very good. Very good.
I gotta see that.
Yes, I loved the train attack sequence. That was great. Go ahead.
That train was like super impressive to me.
Yes.
Like I still can't get over how impressive that. Because I'm trying to look for it right now.
People jump out of the train as it's legitimately exploding.
Like the shot right here of the train coming at the camera. I don't know if that's a miniature.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
But like, I don't know. It just went. I mean, I don't know, because the way it comes down, it looks like it's whatever the casing is. Like, I don't know if they maybe built a train.
I'm watching it now.
But like, it just comes down so easily.
Oh, it looks phenomenal.
Like even
I
like
feel
them,
like it's real. It looks so real.
and like them like with the carts on fire and them coming out of it. That looks like legit. Like that's like I know a lot about behind the scenes like movie making, like miniatures and stuff. Like with all that, but like this really fooled me. I'm like, this is like a really good looking train crash.
Let's read it.
Because okay, like going back to like Back to the Future, that's a miniature train that goes off the side of the cliff. So that's why I'm thinking this must be a miniature. But like then like the flames and like the way they're able to recreate the field there, if that's a miniature, like I don't know. It really did shock me. Shock me.
Make me feel better. Bow, bow, bow. I can't find anything about the train in at least the wiki stuff. We'll have to dig through IMDb, but yeah, it looks phenomenal, and it shocked me as well. My jaw was open.
I rewinded it. I watched it 3 times. I was like, this is crazy. I could not believe it.
Yeah, it's an incredible train explosion. Yeah, people jumping out. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. Yeah, that might be the best scene in the movie, I think. And it's at
an hour.
What, an hour into the movie? Hour 9.
5, hour 9, yeah.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah. For time, hour 5, yeah. Yeah, it's the best scene in the film. Which is a shame because there's still like almost 2 hours left to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so during the paratrooper sequence, the bald man that comes out with the gun looks like Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah, he does kind of look like Schwarzenegger, like Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up. VLC's being a little slow. Because the movie's so damn long.
Mr. Freeze mixed with, speaking of Back to the Future, he looks like Mr. Strickland.
Are you looking at it right now?
He's like, you look like a slacker.
Yeah, he does.
I just love how, like, if I heard somebody fucking around in my backyard, I wouldn't take time to put my fucking boots on and my jacket and shit. Like, I would just be like, barefoot, who the fuck's in my yard? But I guess I understand, like, they're kind of, but it's very weird. This zoom in of the boots, like it looked like it was supposed to be something specific to be shown.
Yeah, that was a weird shot.
It's not like he's like lacing them up or anything.
But like, look at that. Doesn't that look like Schwarzenegger?
It does. Look a little bit of Schwarzenegger in there.
Yeah. Oh, did it just cancel out? Okay, there we go. Yeah. So I screenshot that. So I'll post that.
It's crazy, and the birds distract him from like them.
Yeah,
birds are huge, great actors in this movie. Like I have a note from
and dumb actors in this
movie. Towards the end. I said I put a note in saying double take pigeons, double cross.
I wrote stupid pigeons.
Stupid pigeons. And I don't know. I have now that I'm seeing it on screen. Every time they land with their parachutes, I always feel like they're very unsafe landing. They land right on their fucking like flat feet and like
yeah.
With the true impact of that. You're supposed to like tuck your like kind of legs in, kind of like you're sitting on a toilet almost, kind of like that. And like they're like landing on their legs. I'm like, your fucking knees should be fucking destroyed. Like,
yeah.
I was like, I think I put that in there. Like, very unsafe landings in this movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of unsafe stuff in this film. Like people, so in the climbing sequence, like a dude just fell, and just he fell like like 2 stories, and just lands, and the camera tracks him the whole time, and he lands, and then he doesn't move, and then you see his leg move a little bit.
There's got to be some
but everyone's still going.
There's got to be a lot of injuries on the set, dude. Like,
I can imagine.
Let me see if I can find some like fun facts. I always dig through some fun facts.
The Rupert paradummies used in the film were far more elaborate and lifelike than those actually used in the decoy parachute drop Operation Titanic, which were simply canvas or burlap sacks filled with sand. The dummies dressed in American jumpsuits were used in filming the St. Mary Gleesy sequence. In the real operation, 6 Special Air Service soldiers jumped with the dummies and played recordings of loud battle noises to distract the Germans. Huh. So, burlap sack fucked all?
Oh, here's a fun fact about some behind-the-scenes stuff. During the filming of the landings on Omaha Beach, the extras appearing as American soldiers didn't want to jump off the landing craft into the water because they thought it would be too cold. Robert Mitchum was so disgusted with them that he jumped in first, at which point the soldiers had no choice but to follow his example. So that shows me that, like, there was a lot of, like, people doing their own stunts and stuff like that. And, like, that's why I was really shocked of, like, seeing, like, these guys are actually, like, not really parachuting, but, like, dropping off from a certain platform to land on their fucking feet. I'm like, these guys must have been freaking, like, killing themselves to make this movie.
Mitchum wasn't in the military. Doesn't look like. But he clearly respected it. Because he's like, oh, well, real people did this, so you can't do it? Hop in. Controversies. Oh, boy.
It's so weird. Okay, going back to John Wayne, another piece of trivia. It only took 4 days to shoot John Wayne's cameo. Although it was one
cameo, he's in this for like 20 minutes.
Although it was one of the more lengthy of all the cameos in the movie. Hey, he's on the fucking poster. He's the #1 actor.
Yeah.
And this is considered I mean, I understand. He wasn't in a bunch, but not a lot. But that's interesting that they use the word.
Yeah, maybe like 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's weird that they use the word cameo, and like so was Connery a cameo? Connery
was a cameo.
So like that's so weird.
Was he big at the time? Okay, what had he done? Tarzan's Greatest Adventures, Darby O'Gill. Maybe The Frightened City.
Yeah, so he was definitely known. So I'm sure there was like a big pop in the theater of like, oh my God, that's Sean Connery.
And this came out in the UK after Dr. No, so maybe.
Also, okay, so that's a cameo.
Maybe yeah. Okay, yeah, that's truly a cameo then. I didn't see Frank Finlay in here. There's so many actors I'm seeing in here that I just didn't see. Like, did you see Peter Fonda? Or Henry Fonda, excuse me? Did you see Henry Fonda?
He's in a couple of scenes. Like,
oh, he's the president's son, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he's Theodore Roosevelt Jr. Yep. Okay. Yeah, it's all coming together now. Paul Anka is in this film. That was actually my last note because I was wondering why Paul Anka was in the credits. Okay, let me keep going through my notes. What else we got? Peter Van Eyck. It's good to see him again from Shalako. Again, playing an ignorant kind of villain that refuses to acknowledge the danger until it's too late. I love that fire hose, dude.
Oh yeah,
that is so cool. The bucket system. Wow, so cool. And the bell ringers. How cool are the bell ringers?
Oh yeah, that reminded me because I've done that before.
Bell ringing?
Like there's we did like a local tour. We have the Warren Walkabout here in Warren, Rhode Island, and we did like a little field trip
as opposed to the Rehoboth Runabout
and the Warwick Wobble. I don't know.
The Providence. Pee your pants.
and of course the shit your pants situation.
Situation.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, so they gave us they were giving tours
Bell
of
ringers.
like the church there, and they still have the actual old. I don't know if that's still there. This is a few years back, but they had like the classic bell ringing, and like they would let us. They'd have one guy holding one rope, and it would have you hold the other rope, and like, all right, just hang on, and it would legit pull you up into the air. And it'd pull you back down, and that's how they would do it. So they would have it like be like 1 and 2. So I was just laughing watching that in the background as the dialogue is happening. There's like bong, bong. We'll put the clip in here.
It looks so fun.
But it
looks like good exercise.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but it's scary because that every once in a while it'll pull because it jerks you up.
Yeah,
and so it's frightening. So maybe as a Connery cures on the field, we should try to get a tour of a church and just pull bells like that and see if we
see how high they can lift me.
It must have been 6 feet at one point. I went up 6 feet. Like it was.
Oh, that's so cool.
He was like, all right, slow down. We don't want you going too high. I'm like, no, I want to get to the top of the tower.
Oh my gosh,
it was crazy.
No. Sorry.
Hell yeah.
Climbing the tower. Okay, so my next note was where is Connery, and then like 12 dots.
I think a part of me said that every 10 minutes.
This is where I really started to wonder, though, because the fire was really interesting. That was a really interesting part to me, and I'm like, I'm getting interested in this. Where is my boy?
A part of me was like, did I miss him? Like, I'm thinking, like, was he in the barracks in the beginning? Or, like, he must have been, because, like...
Yeah.
Because it's funny because, truly, especially back then, a lot of younger actors, they look alike. So I'm, like, looking, and I'm like, maybe I did see him already, I just didn't recognize him.
And the sheer amount of people that are in this movie.
Yeah, huge cast. So, and, like, so many extras and everything. So I'm like, maybe I missed him already? And then...
If he was in any other scene, swapped out with any other actor, you wouldn't have known he was there at all.
Yeah.
Like if he was the one that said he's gonna go give it a big wang, like you're probably not. I mean, well, we would remember.
Yeah. Yeah, we remember that. But like, because this was like, I mean, not really. Like last week, we didn't get his first line until like 40 minutes into the movie or whatever.
This is. Double that.
Yeah, but this is like crazy. Like it is tough for us. Who
triple that? Oh my God, it's triple that.
Yeah, it's like we only get him, and again, we only got him for like a minute. Like we'll have to time it, I guess, see how much time he actually was on screen. But
cumulatively, I think it's like 90 seconds.
Maybe he's in what do you call it? Longer. DVD right here. Action of the Tiger.
Did we watch it? Yeah, he's in Action of the Tiger for like 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah. It's like, and he shows up at the end. We have in the beginning,
and he actually does something in that movie.
Yeah, well,
he doesn't do anything in this movie.
Yeah, he just kind of
like makes a fool of himself, and he remarks at things.
Yeah, and he swims and like that. Like he was the comic relief, which is really funny. That like
he was funny.
He's the comic relief. I was like, that's really interesting. So I mean, I guess
there was too much comic relief in way too many places, but his was okay.
Yeah, his I was like fine with, only because I was so happy to see him. Like he could have taken a shit on the fucking beach, and I would have been like, thank God Connery's here,
Right. And I guarantee you, if we weren't doing this podcast and we just watched this film, 1, I don't think either of us would have made it as far enough to see him, and 2, if we did, we would have thought like, who is this guy trying to make jokes right now? It's fucking Normandy, or as the Germans say, Normandy, as opposed to Norman A through C or E through Z.
Oh man.
What else we got? What is the fate of the bell tower paratrooper? The one who gets caught up on the bell tower? Like, we see that he's going to fall and he almost gets shot, but then we never see what actually happens to him.
I think because they shoot him and he gets shot in the foot. And then he's kind of...
Or he just missed or something?
Yeah, he shot him because then another paratrooper came down and kind of subdued him. But I was hoping, like, I was sitting there, I'm like, you're right there by a window. Granted, like, there's a big, like, rafter with the bell right there, but, like, I'm hoping he, like...
Smash it in and go backwards,
like, yeah, just, like, swing up, kind of do, like, a Spider-Man thing where you push off and then push him, because he's like trying to cut it, and he drops his knife. But like, if you're gonna cut it, where are you gonna go from there? You're gonna fall to your death.
Yeah, it's like 3 stories.
Yeah, so like he was kind of like screwed either way. But that was one of the most tense scenes I feel in this, because like that's like scary, because like you're so vulnerable, you're up in the air, nobody can see you yet, but like you're just like,
and the ones who can see you are trying to kill you.
Yeah, and like everyone is like dying around you, and you're seeing the chaos and like all that. It's just like that was really tense.
Yeah, those are very well shot to convey that guy's terror. Yeah, a lot of shots of his terrifying.
Yeah, him like zoomed up, kind of with that angle.
Yeah, from below. Yeah,
that was like a little discomforting. I was like, holy shit, because I hate heights, so like
same.
I could only imagine how he would feel
when we were bringing up the tower. So I'm sorry, say that again. Like, cut off there.
Did I cut off? Oh no, I just said I hate.
It was the Facebook Messenger.
Oh, but yeah, I can't stand heights at all. Like, I just felt that. I hate heights.
When we were filming the music video for the tower that we shot it on, we were going to shoot it at the very top of the tower. We shot it on the roof. We shot it on the roof to the side of the tower, but still on the roof. But we were going to go to the roof of the tower itself. But it was a climb up about a 25-foot ladder.
Ooh.
And I made it up about 15, and I said, nope, not happening.
Yeah, I hate heights, dude. I hate it. Ugh.
So none of us ended up shooting up there. Also, we found out the roof was not sturdy enough to hold 4 people, so we said, nope, not happening.
Well,
and the banisters were only up to knee height, so no.
Yeah. Well, either way. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out that video, man, How's About Charlie the Tower? I love that video.
Oh,
like,
it's such a good video. They did such a good job.
And the song is great too, of course. But like, yeah, just like the mix of like those together, and like the stairs you did, like they did with the transition,
the cross.
Yeah, like that's kind of like
the Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk stuff. Yeah, like that's so cool. I was really,
you, man. That's one of my proudest edits.
Hell yeah.
I had fun editing that and producing that.
I'll have to link that somewhere.
I didn't shoot it with them, but I was there on the shooting days, and it was a good time.
Hell yeah.
So, and if you look carefully, there is a cameo of me in the video.
Oh yeah, we get like the shadow of you playing guitar, right?
Yeah, stick to the shadows.
Stick to the shadows.
Literally. Anyway, so yeah, definitely check out How's About Charlie the Tower and all the music from How's About Charlie, because they've got an eclectic mix of styles.
Yeah, might be a little too late, but they were nominated Motif Magazine again, right? So might be a little too late now, but like hopefully you voted for them.
Yeah, hopefully you did. Hopefully they won. They definitely won. They won.
I put in a few votes already as it is, so I'm excited for them.
Thank you very
much.
Hell
yeah.
All right, let's continue. The 2 clicks. That's another John Wayne scene, setting up the 2 clicks thing. But that 2 clicks rifle reveal, that I really liked that scene where the guy gives the 1 click, and then you hear 2 clicks, 2 clicks, and he stands up in confidence and he gets shot. The only bad part about that scene is he goes, I heard 2 clicks. And then he died. Like, yeah, duh. But then the enemy German soldier enters the frame, and he's got a rifle, and it click, 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 click when he reloads the rifle. Very clever. I really like that reveal. You remember what I'm talking about? Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, John Wayne's acting. Not crazy about it. Henry Fonda, as the president's son, tells the guy he's talking to, "Thanks, Tubby." That's mean.
That's all right.
I really love Kurt Jürgens freaking out about Hitler. And how Hitler's asleep and an idiot.
You're talking about the guy he's the pilot afterwards?
No. He's one of the generals.
I always get them mixed up.
Kurt Jürgens is General Gunther Blumentritt. Let me see if I can. I'll pull him up here and screenshot it. So the true story is that Hitler was asleep. They were waiting for the orders to release the panzers, and Hitler was asleep. And he was not to be disturbed. He gave specific orders not to disturb him as he was sleeping. And I can't find it. Kurt Jürgens was this scene here. I'll share the screen with you. He's absolutely freaking out about Hitler being asleep, and like we've got a job to do here, and the Fuhrer is an absolute fool.
The fighter pilot, or whatever you want to call it. Great.
Yes, I like him. Yes. Oh gosh, screenshot that, please.
But doesn't he look like Hans Zimmer?
Yes, he does look like Hans Zimmer. Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna screenshot that. I just love that face.
And he's so sassy too. He's like, "What the hell? They left us 2 planes. All right, we'll go shoot some shit for a little while, and then we'll fuck off back home." All right, so much of this beach you could cut with the beach from Dr. No.
Yes.
There's even a part where a guy has a megaphone, and you can go, "We'll be back. We'll be back with the dogs." My next note is how much of this is actual real footage. Like, a lot of it clearly is real footage, but like the battles are crazy intense. How much of that is real, and how much of it is actual like shooting going on the beach, like where they're filming, where they've like got squibs and explosions set up, and how much of it is real warfare that was shot on film.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's
terrifying at points. People are getting messed up.
Yeah, I'm just kind of clicking through it right now, and it is hard to kind of tell because like like the planes are zooming by. I doubt they had time to shoot any kind of film with that actually happening. Like right around like the hour, I might click around the hour 52 mark where I'm kind of like, because you look at like for example, the Hans Zimmer scene, the footage they're using in the green screen, and on the boat scenes, those look like legit shots that they might have mixed in like between like the studio stuff. And the planes coming in, the boats coming in, but yeah, the actual it's like they either did a really good job recreating the beach, or who knows. It's really tough to tell, but I think that's why they I know we're talking about budget, but I think keeping it black and white really makes it like have that illusion of like you don't know what the real scene is. Yeah. It's all black and white. Same thing with the clip I used for for Bond coming out in the Lotus. I had to make it black and white to fit in.
It actually looks really good in black and white. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be interested to watch more black and white Bond films.
I'd watch Dr. No in black and white. I think that'd be interesting.
I'd be interested to watch all of Casino Royale in black and white.
Oh yeah,
It doesn't say here, but I feel like I read a lot of this, that a lot of this was real.
Well, there's a scene like right in the beginning of the movie that's clearly, if you go to a minute
with the green screen.
No, go to a minute 49 into the movie. That's legit, like not the battle, but like that's just like stock like footage like of the army walking through. You could tell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Because they're looking at the camera and stuff, and then they're mixing it. So like that's like interesting. So like I'm looking at like that grain there, and it's tough because like if there is like actual archived footage of like the battle, it's pretty good quality.
And this, you know, the rough green screen at the beginning with Rommel disappearing there, played by Werner Hinz. Literally, if you go to his Wikipedia page, it's his still from The Longest Day. But I feel like that was on green screen or whatever the equivalent of it was at the time. because if you look at that, it looks like it's real footage from the preparation of the beach at 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, I'm looking right at it.
4:51 and whatnot. So at 4:33 onward, like I believe that's real footage in the background, and then he just disappears.
When he reappears is hilarious. But like that's the same exact shot they use for the binocular scene too. Like they go back to this clip all the time. So like I'm sure that's like legitimately like that. Like that's kind of like a nice foreshadowing shot too, because later when we see that scene later, that horizon is filled with ships. So I think that's kind of a cool.
Which was intimidating.
Yeah, it's scary looking.
Which you think was, I'm sorry.
Which is it's scary, terrifying to see all those ships coming at you.
Yeah. Oof. So many things we could pop into that as an alternate besides the Lotus as well. Like there's so many. Like you could put Captain Jack Sparrow or like literally anything that's on the water. We could intercut with that because it's a great reaction.
You could put like David Hasselhoff from the SpongeBob movie.
Exactly, and then but it has to. No, it doesn't have to, but I think have him say invasion after it, because like whatever it is, like that's the invasion. David Hasselhoff and SpongeBob, that's the invasion. Like the Beatles running on the beach. That's literally the invasion.
Oh man, if anything from this movie, we're gonna get a lot of meme content.
Oh, for sure.
At least.
For sure. And it's easy because it's in black and white, so the color timing doesn't have to fit perfectly.
Precisely.
So yeah, a lot of this can be cut with Dr. No as well.
Yes.
Did this shoot give people PTSD?
I wonder.
Yeah, like this is pretty damn epic. I like that there's literally bagpipes at Sean Connery's entrance. Because we're here now. We're here.
Yeah,
at this
I'm telling
point
you,
now.
like that's like the funniest like entrance of like the bagpipes happening and like everyone's like being a goofball and stuff. It's like this is like all right, now I'm like having a little burst of fun.
Yeah, that falling off the boat gag is pretty funny.
It really was.
What a crime. It's drown a man before he's even in the fight. May I Connor P again?
Of course.
All right, I'll be right back.
It's funny, isn't it? He's dead. I'm crippled. You're lost. I suppose it's always like that. I'm in war. I wonder who won.
Nobody called from beyond the grave or anything.
Nope, not that I heard.
Excellent. Okay, let's continue. Winston. I love Winston, the dog.
Oh, I felt so bad for the little pup.
Yeah, right. In a war zone, he must have been.
Yeah, he's like dragged around. He's like down, Winston, down. Like he is down technically. Like Jesus Christ,
right? He's terrified.
He's like trying.
He's real down and depressed that day. There's so many good pups in this.
I did like the when it was Connery and one of the other character soldiers like, I was like, now that's a man, and it's like, yeah, I like his dog. I'm like, me too.
There's a moment where one of the generals just bashes the tank and then it works again.
Oh, yeah.
We can't get this tank started, and then he just hits it.
Yeah, the same general with the dog. Yeah, it was him.
Yeah.
My father always said sometimes he's a good bashing.
Stupid pigeons.
Oh yeah.
I like that the explosions cut to the birthday cake with the candle. That was funny, and that's the big bundt cake with the giant carrot-sized candle. And then that birthday ceremony is interrupted by the general finding out that Normandy is invaded. I had to write down the way he pronounced it. No one straps on their helmets in this film.
Nope.
Not a one. All right, page 2. Harpoon ropes, the grappling hooks. I love them. But also, how strong is barbed wire that, like, like 50 grown men can climb up a rope just supported by a barbed wire fence that's supported by like the smallest steel beams. But yeah, real falls. Holy shit with those real falls. Though there's some good dummy work. The dummies that get blown up.
Oh yeah.
They look good. Funnier in 1.5 times speed. One of the most brutal scenes in the movie. Bitte, bitte. And they just shoot him, and he goes, I wonder what bitter means.
Oh, yeah.
It means please, please. He's begging for mercy, and you just shot him to death. Like, that is brutal.
Right.
And it's just like an ignorant American dude going, I wonder what bitter means. The explosions were really getting to me, which means I'm getting old. Like, I didn't even have the surround sound on, and I'm like, these explosions are too loud.
Yeah, that's a lot. I'll give it to them, though. A great, like, pyro work, and, like, yeah, I got to give it to them just, like, special effects wise, like, this for, like, actual, like, practical effects. They did a really good job, like, going back to that train scene and going back to, like, the beach and, like, all their, like, it's one thing to, like, have, like, those little, like, mines that will blow up the smoke a little bit, but, like, you're seeing, like, actual, like, 6-foot flames and, like, and, like, there's some buildings crash, which the buildings being crashed, that's where I'm, like, some of that looks like actual footage.
That tracking shot through the city, that long track, these long tracking shots in the film are where it really succeeds. Like, the sloppy green screen, I know it's not green screen, but whatever those moments are, those really take away from it. Some of it's rear projection, some of it's not. But those really take away from it. But those long, beautiful shots of big, epic war scenes, those are what win the film all its points.
Oh, yeah.
And
them going by the dock there, like there's the buildings there in the dock.
Yeah,
like, that's
the
like
big explosion in the dock, like a massive explosion in the dock, in the water. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like that too. It's like crazy, and I'm assuming they're in a chopper catching all this. It's like all once, because imagine like the shooting this. It's like you guys got like one take to fucking make this look great, you know, and. God bless the cameraman. Yeah, like, there you go. That's the shot in the water. Like, oh my God, like I commend them with this. That's the thing. I don't. People listening to this are kind of thinking, like, well, why maybe shitting on this movie, but this is a really good fucking movie.
It is. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, it's like if you're a war buff, like likes like these kind of older like war films.
This will be your grandfather's favorite movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like this is probably your grandfather's Saving Private Ryan. You know, like this is like your
right.
It's like your grandfather's Jarhead or whatever other military films out there. If it's like,
I guarantee everyone's grandfather loves this movie.
Oh yeah, it's like one shot. It's like one continuous shot.
Right.
It's like
share your screen with me.
Let's see if I'm gonna go back a little bit.
You can share just that window, I believe.
Yeah, that's when I rewind to where it started here.
Yeah, we'll just leave it playing in the background, which also reminds me. Yeah, that one. It also reminds me of the long one shot in You Only Live Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that big explosion in the water right there on the corner. Wow, massive. And the damage to these buildings, it's not bad damage, but it's it's sizable.
Yeah, but you got like windows blowing up though.
Pyrotechnic explosions, yeah.
Yeah, look at all one shot. Look at this one. The bridge. Like
yeah, it's so good.
And then another big right there. It's like
oof,
what?
Yeah.
So good. Like this is
terrifying.
Yeah, so it's like
beautiful cinematography in this film.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'll chop that and put that on Instagram just as a
hell. This might be our 007 moment. Like
no, I don't think that one. I think literally 70% of the other battle scenes, because most of them have no music. But this long shot, maybe I'll take the music from You Only Live Twice and put it in for that long shot.
There you go.
From that long shot in You Only Live Twice. Excuse me. And then, like, this one, it's the same kind of shot, but, like, wow. Way it just zooms over everything. God, so beautiful.
Yeah.
And this actor right there, it leaning against the brick there, reminds me of him. Reminds me of Roger Moore in Wild Geese.
Okay.
I haven't seen that film, but if you look up a poster for it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Here, I'll share it with you.
Yeah, all visuals we're talking about, we'll try to share on the socials.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely not being the greatest podcast hosts at the moment. This.
Oh, yes, okay. Oh man, we gotta do more Curious, man.
We're gonna do more movies.
More movies.
Yeah. Here we go. Open a new tab. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Who's that with them? Wild Geese is Roger Moore, Richard Harris. Oh my God.
Fuck.
Richard Burton. Oh my God. So we got someone in this movie, someone in our last movie, and another Bond. Holy shit. Yeah, we got to do more movies.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, more movies. Digging into Dalton, the Brosnan backlog, Craig Curious, and then the Lazenby list as a last resort.
Last resort.
Yeah. We'll get into Barry Nelson's filmography before we get into Lazenby's. All right, where else was that? At 2:17:50. You still got it open?
Yes.
2:17:50. Is Old Greg.
Oh yeah. Wait, 2:17.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Old Greg. Okay. God Bless the Bagpipe Player, and then the Bleedin' Racket, and that's where I would put the Beatles, listening to the Beatles with their earmuffs line. Long Take Through the City. God damn. Invincible Nuns. The nuns just walk in amidst a hail of bullet fire, and are just completely unharmed because you don't shoot nuns. Everyone knows that.
That's a rule.
Which calls back to The Man Who Would Be King, when all the monks just walk in.
Oh,
and the battle
yeah.
Okay, I got a few quotes. I got a lot of quotes from here. There's two kinds of people on this beach. And then my brain just went like, people who like peanut butter and jelly and people who don't like peanut butter and jelly. And, my brain just started listing a bunch of examples, like people who like Sammy Hagar's era and Van Halen and people who don't like Sammy Hagar's era and Van Halen.
People who are inconsiderate of other people's nationalities and the Dutch. That's a gold member reference.
Oh, I love that line.
Man.
Okay, when one of the guys is complaining that he's lost his hearing because of the bell in the distance, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
He goes, ding, dong, and then he, holds his hand out like this, and my brain just went, ding, dong, gabagool. John Wayne gets upset that there are still paratrooper bodies hanging. And he's like, cut those bodies down. And the guys go, but they were shooting at us. And he's like, I don't care. Cut those boys down. And they're like, okay. And my brain just went okay, they go up to get the bodies and then they all just get shot. And it's like, oh, man, Johnson got shot. Well, I don't care. Go bring those bodies down. And so you've got the hanging paratrooper that's dead and then just a ever-increasing pile of bodies underneath him.
I don't care if there's bodies down there. Get those paratroopers down.
Good. Climb on that big pile of bodies. It'll be easy to get that body down. In fact, get the body down and toss it on that pile. The next quote I have is, the general's changed since yesterday. Maybe we've all changed since yesterday. And then it cuts to the South Park boys and goes, "I've learned something today." I'll make that edit.
Oh my God, they killed Kenny. I don't care. Get those dang paratroopers off that hanging.
At 2:42 even, we see Billy Corgan. I'm skipping to it myself so I can get a nice screenshot.
You talking about the guy on the right?
Yeah, the young guy.
Oh, the younger guy.
On the left.
The younger
on the
guy,
left.
yes. Okay, yeah, I see that. I was like, the other guy, I don't see it. But yeah, okay.
No, the older guy, I don't know who that is. I could look through this massive cast list, but that would take a lot of work. But yeah, that's Billy Corgan. It's not, but it looks like him. Coming to the end of my notes here. At 2:48, there are bunnies, and I get happy about that.
Oh, yeah, those bunnies.
And then we come to maybe the best dialogue scene in the whole film, which is the cigarette scene. I believe it's Richard Burton that's injured. Am I correct? Yes, Flying Officer David Campbell. Richard Burton is sitting on the ground injured.
Oh, yeah.
And he's asking for a cigarette. And what's his name? Schultz, the one with the check mark.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one that
with the money.
Yeah, we start the film with him and Burton kind of towards the beginning as well. So it comes back to both of them. And it's just them sharing cigarettes.
In this scene, he looks a little bit like Richard Harris.
Schultz or Richard Burton?
Schultz on the ground. Is that shot from far away? Like, just picture him with a mustache.
Show me it.
Let me get back to it. God damn it! Oh, I'm trying to get a good pause of it here.
It's okay. Well, I think that's the best dialogue scene in the whole film because it's just reflecting on sadness, and he's like, the medic lost his kit, but he gave me a shot of morphine and patched my leg up with fucking safety pins.
Oh yeah,
like it's brutal. I really like the line that Richard Burton ends on. He's dead. I'm crippled. You're lost. Yeah, he kind of looks like
if you put a mustache on him, he looks like Richard Harris from the last film.
A little bit. Richard Harris has a little bit more of a slender face, like at least a little more of like a guitar pick shape. You know what I mean? Richard Burton's got a little bit of a wider face. I believe that's Richard Burton. Or is it Donald Houston? You know, that's Richard Burton. Yeah. And yeah, he's dead. I'm crippled. You're lost. That's the way of it. War. That is, and it's just really sad. And then the bombing stops. The sound stops in the distance, and Schultz goes, "I wonder who won," which is a beautiful follow-up. He's dead. I'm crippled. You're lost. Because he's lost. He literally doesn't know where he is. And then the bombing stops, and he goes, I wonder who won. Nobody wins. It's war. Even when somebody wins, nobody wins. You know?
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I wonder who won. That is a great ending scene, but the real ending scene I very much dislike. It's got this jolly, happy, yay for America music. And then, you know, thank God that guy has another cigar. That's how the movie ends. Like, I finished my cigar, and oh, look, another one. Thank God. Like,
that's kind of like how the tone was back in the day, I feel. Just very...
Yeah, you need a happy American.
Yeah,
ending.
just kind of like get hyped about America and let's hoorah and all that.
Yeah. So by the time I get to page 2 of my notes, I wrote at the top, the longest movie.
Yeah.
And also, there were points, even though I kept so many notes, there was a point where I got bored and I just started drawing, and this is what I drew.
Oh, that's badass.
Thanks. It's some weird Catman spin on the Black Alien Project.
Oh, no, not the Black Alien Project again. It always comes full circle.
It comes full circle. Speaking of coming full circle, it came in a full circle.
Where we made it to the end.
That was a... Never mind. Yeah, we've pretty much made it to the end of the film here, I think. We could go more into the production, but it's getting late. It's 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And I'm not tired. Still got energy, but I think we've talked as much as we really can about this film. As we said, Connery's in it for about 1.5 minutes.
Which makes this like probably one of our hardest review scores so far.
Yeah, our hardest to watch, I think. I think Action of the Tiger was easier to watch.
Because we were together. I feel like some of these are like... Yeah, like they're
not because Action of the Tiger was better. It wasn't a better film.
Just like sitting together, it's like we get to like discuss,
enjoy each other's
and
company.
like and we're kind of like doing notes as we're hanging out, and then there it is. But anyways, so yeah, I guess this is the portion of the show where we give our score of the film and score of the Connery, and then we already kind of did our Connery everything. Connery says with a Connery quote, basically.
Let's give it them back for Dunkirk.
Do you hear that? But Jesus, Dunkirk. Did you hear it, Clough? Sure, he was still at school at the time. Come on, you bastard! Come out, you dusty slobs! Letting it back! Oh, the evil of it all, trying to down a man before he's even had a chance to fight. Ah, come on! Hold it. What's the matter? Can't you get your finger out? Yeah, sure, that got it out. Sure, now that's what I call a hell of a man.
Aye, I like his dog, too.
Don't stand there yapping. This isn't Hyde Park Corner. The war's over there.
There he goes. He's at it again. Did you ever hear such a bleeding racket in all your life?
Yeah, it takes an Irishman to play the pipes.
Did you ever hear such a bleeding racket in all your life?
That's as bad as listening to the Beatles without earmuffs.
So he took care of that for us, and does the S...
I'll punch all of his quotes
yes,
in.
and does the SH... I mean, he's very Scottish in this. He leans on the Scot.
Yes,
So,
but it's not too heavy,
so yeah, I think
though.
it's just like...
The H is maybe at like a 4.
I would say a 3. Not too bad.
Okay, so I think we should do the film rating first. And the reason I say that is because, okay, I had to give this film almost 2 ratings.
Okay.
And I think this is something we should start taking into consideration as we go.
All right.
So I'm going to give the score for my movie and you'll understand. So for me, the movie score is a 7, but I liked it a 4. So it's a 5.5.
Okay.
You know, understand my thinking
Right.
here? Like, I can't... This is the first one where it just hasn't aligned with me. Like, it's a very good film, but it's not my cup of tea. So I enjoyed it a 4, but it's a 7 in quality. It's for the technical scale of what it's doing in the year that it came out, it's even a 7.5 or an 8 sometimes. But I'm considering it a 7, but I liked it a 4, so I have to meet in the middle.
Yeah,
So,
I think...
How about you? What are you giving it for
I
a
think
film?
I have that same thought because, like, after watching it, I just wanted to look at reviews of the film, and people, like, really like this movie, and it seems to be widely considered one of the greatest war movies out there, I guess, which is surprising because of...
I understand that.
Yeah, so, which is great and all, but, like, I'm in the same boat where it's like, you know, we often always ask the question, would you watch it again? And I wouldn't.
Nope, never.
Like,
I would never watch
I would
this
maybe
again.
fast forward just to see that Connery moment.
Yes, I will watch it to pull clips out of it and to watch the Connery moments. And
Yeah,
that's it.
so like, and
maybe the train sequence. I watched the train sequence.
Yeah,
again.
if we want to talk about like the top 10 greatest train sequences down the line, we're gonna bring this up. You know, that
Yes,
could be
that
something to do. Like
and-
we should do like top 10, like our favorite like stunts from Connery movies, our favorite
Yeah.
moments. Like that should be a compilation.
Best train sequences.
That could be our New Year's.
We're gonna get
episode.
another train sequence in 2 movies from Russia with Love.
That's right. So
one of the all-time great train sequences.
yes, the whole movie is almost a train sequence. I love it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. Yeah, so I wouldn't watch it again, but I would, I guess, recommend it to like a person who like is into war movies. Sure.
A grandfather.
Like yeah, well, I have a friend Scott, not Scott Southgate, but I do have a friend Scott who's really into like military stuff and like old stuff like this, and so
We should get Scott Southgate on the podcast.
yeah, I wonder what he would want to do. I have to ask him. I should have asked him today when I saw him.
Ask
I will.
him. Ask him what he'd like to do.
we'll-
Tell him to pick a
we'll
film.
do it.
Because he's got an eclectic taste in art.
Yeah, he's into a lot of stuff, so I think he'd have fun with that. I recently just got him into wrestling. He loves wrestling now. He's like, oh yes, Drew McIntyre's my favorite. He saw like one match and he's in love. But anyways, but yeah, so yeah, going back to that, wouldn't watch it again, but I recommend it to someone who likes war pictures. So that's all I got to say about that. So I guess.
Well, what's your film rating?
So going to the film rating, for me personally, Mario Lima, my God honest truth is I got to give it probably a 6.5.
6.5?
Yeah.
All right, which means our average rating is a 6.
There it is.
I've started doing the averages.
I like
from here. All right, so let's rate Sean Connery.
All right, this is like.
You want to go first for this
Yeah,
one?
it's so hard because it's like a minute and 46 seconds of content. We might be stretching. It might be two to 3 minutes. Who knows?
I feel like it's 90 seconds. It can't be
We
more
gotta
than that.
actually time it out.
I'll pull it all out and we'll time it.
But so we often talk about where was Connery in this time in his life. He's a young man. He's about to be James Bond.
He is James Bond. He's already filmed
He
it.
already did film it, so okay, he's
Yeah.
James Bond. He's a spy. He's like, he's getting some cool roles.
He's probably filming From Russia with Love at the moment.
Probably, yeah. So I guess I'm just going to, just because of lack of Connery, I got to go lower. But every moment with Connery was delightful, and it's something when when we go back to Action of the Tiger, every time we saw Connery, we despised him. So with this one, we love him. I think he's great. I would see a whole movie with this character. So I think for that, I guess I'm just going to give him. I'll just give him a 7.5.
7.5, huh?
007.5, just because I mean, it's easy to go higher, but that just, I don't know. He was just there as comic relief, but it didn't really save the movie for me. Maybe if he saved the movie more for me, sure. Give me like if they gave him like an important role, a sacrifice or something big, then I would have been a solid 8, maybe an 8.5. But I'm gonna stick with 7.5. You look puzzled.
Okay. Yeah, I am puzzled because part of me wanted to drop this big bombshell, but now I'm like rethinking it.
It's really tough with like such little content.
Do you know what I wrote down when I finished the film?
What's that?
For my Sean rating. Take a guess.
Well, the way you're talking, you're doing a bombshell, so it could go either really low or really high. I'm gonna dig and say you went low, and you gave him a 4.
I gave him a 10.
You gave him a 10?
Yes. I gave him a 10. I loved him so much in this. It was such a fucking shot in the arm. He was such a shot of energy in this lull. And I hate battle scenes in films so much. Not all battle scenes. Like that's a loose definition, but like old war films, they're not my cup of tea. Just endless shooting and no music, and and watching people fall down in the worst ways, it bores the shit out of me. And that's why I watched it all in double speed. But every single second Connery was on frame, I just soaked it in. It just made me happy.
It's like we said earlier. It's like he was like a
upon hearing
friend.
Your argument, I don't know if I can give him a 10. Yeah, I was so happy to see him. I was so happy to see him.
I think he deserves a 10 from you. I think he. I think so.
You think I'm not being insane?
I think so. Like, I mean, you're tempting me to go a little higher, but I think I'm going to stick with mine. And like, I think he deserves 10. So get the average up a little bit because, yeah, that's the thing. It's like at the end of the day, this is a Sean Connery podcast. So I mean, fuck it. Maybe he deserves a 10 because of how he made us feel, and how we're like.
I'm giving him a 10.
Yeah, let's do it. It's just like we're starting to establish a real like relationship with this guy now. You know, he's gone, unfortunately. But yeah, it's just like now that we're like really getting a sense of who he is as a person, as an actor, and stuff he's gone through. We've already seen some of his like lower points and his higher points. But yeah, just alone. Seeing how he made us feel when he finally popped on screen, I got excited. That was like when Captain America grabbed Thor's hammer, and we're like, he's here. Let's go. It was so exciting. So I think he deserves that 10, Dylan. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'm gonna stick with it.
Let's go.
This is my first 10 I've given him. It's not your first 10. You gave him a 10 in The Man Who Would Be King.
Oh, hell yeah.
And the Molly Maguires.
Yeah, I loved him. Did I give him a 10 in Molly Maguires?
Yeah.
I did like him in Molly Maguires, absolutely.
And then a 9.5 in A Good Man in Africa. So we've been pretty kind to him. You've been kind to him. I gave him a 9.75 in Molly Maguires.
That's right.
But yeah, 10 in this for me, just based on how good he made me feel. He was having a blast, clearly. And I'm not going to lie, the line about drowning a man before he's even in the war made me laugh and just kind of saved all of that part for me. Like, I still skipped through everything I didn't skip through it, but I had it in fast forward with the audio. I didn't have it on mute. It was 1.5 speed, so it still plays the audio. Yeah. But every time he was on screen, I played it in normal speed, and it's just the little lines. He and Norman Rossington have great comedic chemistry together, and it was just a delight to actually. Excuse me. As I said before, if we weren't doing this podcast, and say you had to watch this for a film class, we'd be bored out of our minds.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Like, if we had to watch this for a grade, we'd fail.
Oh yeah.
Like, tell us about the themes of this movie. War's bad? I don't know.
And
don't sleep late. Hitler shouldn't have
and
slept
war
late.
is long.
Yeah. But because we had something to hook into, it was the shot of energy that we needed, that I needed.
Same.
To be on board with this film. So yeah, I think 10. Sticking with a 10 for old SC.
All right.
Connery.
Well, with that being said, I guess we're at the part of the show that we love the most.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh man, this is
whose turn is it this
you.
week? Oh my gosh.
That's you, baby.
Oh my gosh.
So you guys know at home, each week we go to the Wheel of Curiosities to pick our next film for next episode. So this is very exciting. This is our big dopamine hit of the night.
Oh, I'm so excited. I just had to go back through it and take off The Longest Day because for some reason...
Yeah, it always comes back for some reason. Yeah. But yeah, so
it's the longest day. It always comes
longest
back.
day on the longest wheel, which started to get shorter. We're slowly...
It's getting shorter and shorter. That's 10 films down from it. This was our 10th film, Mario.
Wow.
That means 10 films have been removed from the wheel.
Wow. And still, and we say it every week, still no Bond.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I hope we get one.
Go.
Oh, I hope we get one.
Man.
We've got some guests lined up for some
Yeah, a lot of
films.
people. Yeah, so again, we talk about it on social media. If you guys haven't seen it already, we are looking for guests. If you guys are like a fan of the
Yeah.
show and want to talk about a Connery film, like we'd be happy to have you on. You just contact us like through our Instagram or Twitter at Connery Curious, and
Or email at connerycurious@gmail.com.
Yes, and then
If you feel you got conversation, if you feel you can make some good conversation about a Connery film, Connery conversation.
Conversations. So
Yeah, hit us up. We'd like some.
hell yeah, we've had a
guests.
few. We've had a
Mario
few.
and I have a blast. Mario and I have a blast talking to each other, but we want to talk to
Absolutely.
you too. So
spread out
and make some new friends along the way. That's one of the reasons why we do this.
Hell yeah.
Why we take on new artistic endeavors to make new friends and new connections. And
Hell yeah.
And we've already done that. We've made some new connections already, and people have reached out to us and been very kind.
Yeah, like no, everyone's like liking the show, and we are super excited about that because we're like when we first started this, we're like, oh, we'll see if we can get some likes on it, and people are like legitimately like, yeah, we love your show. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, no one's mocked it or anything. It's like it's been a positive reception all around. We're honestly, that makes us feel really good, folks. So thank you, genuinely. Like, you make us feel good, folks.
Hell yeah.
Just like watching these films and spending time together talking about them. Man, Mario, it feels good to be here with you.
Feels good to be here with you too, man. But you know what even feels even better? Spinning that goddamn wheel. So what are you waiting for, Dylan?
That's why I put it off each week, because it's like the ultimate hit.
Gotta do it.
All right, well, I think it's time to do it, Mario. It's time to spin oh, wait a second. I got to share my screen.
So excited.
Whoopsie. Oh, gosh. All right, here we go. It's time to spin the wheel of curiosities. Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh, so close to never say never again.
Well, that's okay,
all right.
though. That's okay. It'll come when it comes.
I'm excited about this, though.
Which means that this is the second film from the song.
Oh, that's right.
Right? Yeah, Murder on the Orient Express.
You never know what the wheel's going to spin next.
Exactly. Oh, all right. Murder on the Orient Express. We have watched The Longest Day. Let me go to the Murder on the Orient Express, 1974. See what we got here. Starring Lauren Bacall, Martin Balsam, who we had in Cuba, Ingrid Bergman, Jacqueline Bisset, Jean-Pierre Cassel, Sean Connery, Albert Finney, John Gielgud, Wendy Hiller, Anthony Perkins, Vanessa Redgrave, Rachel Roberts, Richard Widmark, and Michael York. What a cast!
Hell yeah!
A lot is shaking, Austin.
Now I want to see Murder Express. So obviously, I think we talked about this in the first episode. You know, I've seen the remake, and I think I haven't really seen this one. I don't think. I was curious who plays what.
I haven't seen any of them.
Colonel Arbuthnot, right?
Arbuthnot. Sean Connery plays Colonel Arbuthnot. That's a mouthful.
Let's see, because I don't think they have. Oh yeah, so Leslie Odom Jr. plays Connery's character, who he was in Glass Onion.
Yes.
So Hamilton,
yes.
he's been in. I'm not sure of anything else, but so that's cool. I was curious about who played his characters. That's interesting. So yeah, I'm excited about this guy. I freaking the Murder on the Orient Express, the 2017 version was great because I just love murder mysteries.
And it's directed by Branagh.
And then they had the sequel, Death on the Nile.
Death on the Nile, also directed by Branagh.
Yeah, which is fantastic. So
directing himself as Poirot. Oh, awesome. I need to watch those. But first, we need to watch the 1974 British mystery film directed by Sidney Lumet, who has worked with Connery a number of times on films like The Offense, Child's Play, what? 1972 drama mystery film. Starring Beau Bridges, James Mason, and Robert Preston. Okay, so Sidney Lumet has directed The Anderson Tapes, The Offense, Murder on the Orient Express, Family Business. So 4 films here with Connery. And Dog Day Afternoon, Serpico. A lot of great films here. So, yeah, we got 4 films that he's working with Connery
Hell
on.
yeah. And then, so for those at home, for your watch options, it is free on Pluto TV. If you have Fubo TV under subscription, you can get that on that. You can rent it on YouTube, Google Play, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Vudu, and again, Pluto TV.
I like this little segment where we fill them in on where they can.
Hell yeah. We have to make it as easy as possible because we love you guys to watch. Hopefully, you guys are watching along and then joining us.
And if not, we hope you're just enjoying the conversation.
Hell yeah. So, yeah, if you can't find on any of those, so a lot of great options digitally here. But, of course, we always suggest checking your local library to see if there's any copies in your local library. If they can't get it there, you can also have them order from a different library in your area.
Support your local libraries.
That's it. So I'm super excited. So we'll try to get this in the best quality we can here, because this is one this one I might actually watch with my wife, because it's really been tough to get her to watch Connery movies with me. But like a few, she's kind of been like, that looks kind of interesting.
Honestly, same. Nicole and I have been together long enough that we refer to each other as a married couple would. And we love a good whodunit, the two of us.
Hell yeah.
We love a good whodunit. And last year we became obsessed with the Scream films and watched them all in just like a week's time, and then bought them all so that we could watch them again whenever. So I think I'll probably end up watching this with her as well.
Hell yeah, man. That's exciting.
Yeah, this has been a good time, man. Even though, as we said, the film wasn't our cup of tea. That's the phrase I keep using. This is very British. But I think that was the best way to describe it. It was a really beautiful, well-shot, well-made film, except for a couple of, parts where people disappear.
Yeah, right. Some vanishing shots, some magic tricks.
Yeah, some iffy rear projection and green screen, but still an absolutely beautiful film with some of the most beautiful long takes I've ever seen.
Yeah, some great stuff, man. Like really exciting. So, like again, like check it out. Like again, hopefully
it's worth one watch.
Yeah, at least to like just experience it and be like, okay, this was a thing. I understand where this sits in the movie realm of history. Like again, this is like a film people love. So
yeah, this is a historically important film.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you only see one or two things from this film, look up all of the long battle shots because they're phenomenal, and then look up Connery's minute and a half because it's hilarious.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm not out of my depth giving him a 10?
I think he deserved it. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I know if I keep doubting it, then maybe it's not right. But you know what? It does. It feels right. It feels right. He made me feel a 10 on my happiness scale when I saw him.
That's why I think we need to take into consideration with some of these movies. It's like how it made us feel.
Like so much so that I didn't even notice it was him at first, and then when I realized it was him, I rewound it and got happy.
Yeah.
At
first, I thought he was like a mirage. I was like, "Is that
right?
really him? Sean, is that you?"
Paradise in the desert.
Everybody started looking like Sean to me. They're all Seans.
And then I got even more happy to see that he was standing next to Norman
Hell
Washington,
yeah,
who I love in A Hard Day's Night. He's amazing.
Hell yeah.
So, well, Mario, this has been a blast.
This has been so much fun.
As we said, even though the film wasn't to our entire liking, it's always a blast discussing these films with you, even when the film is terrible, like The Avengers.
Oh, The Avengers.
It's still a blast to discuss, and I have a great time every week.
Hell yeah, man. Same here. So I guess...
And, happy birthday to you.
Thanks, man.
On Tuesday.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Let me just double check that. It is. Yeah, Tuesday. Hot diggity.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, happy. How old are you going to be this year, Mario?
I don't even want to know. 32.
Wow.
Right?
Hot
I think
diggity.
32, right? Yeah, that sounds right. Maybe. Sure.
Too old to remember.
You get to that point when you hit 30, you're kind of like, I don't need to do this anymore. It's just like, because that's like when I hit 30, shit just went off the rails, and I'm like, all right, I'm old now.
Fair enough. I mean, unless you're born, like my sister was born in 2000, so she's always going to know how old she is.
Oh, yeah. Wow, man, that is so weird to hear that someone was born in the year 2000. I don't know why.
Right? But they're a fully grown, able to drink adult.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, jeez. Yeah, wow. Yeah, damn. That's weird. Anyways.
Time.
I'm like,
taken away from moments that make up a dull day.
I'm hoping to be doing this podcasting thing at 40 too. So like, let's go. Let's make more content. We got some more other content things around the horizon. We won't talk about it here, but like there are some cool things happening. So I'm excited.
Yeah, some little things dropping here and there that treats for all you folks. And if you want to keep doing this till 40, we'll definitely have to get on the filmography of the other.
Oh yeah, by 40, we'll probably be at like
the Lazenby
list. That's when we're like, why are we still doing this?
Right.
Anyways, man. All right, so I guess that's gonna do it for us here at Connery Curious.
Yeah, we will see you next week for Murder on the Orient Express.
Sean Connery.
You
will
never
return.
know what the wheel's gonna spin next.
Hell yeah! This has been Connery.
Another big ensemble cast.
Yeah,
too.
it's gonna be.
But these people are gonna stick around for more than a minute.
Yeah. There's if it's anything like the remake, there's gonna be a lot of Connery in this. He's not gonna be the main focus, but he's gonna be everywhere. So I'm excited for this. And he's on another train movie. We're gonna be on a train.
Right? Oh my god.
Yeah. This is all train.
And we'll throw it in black and white, and then that's the train that gets blown up.
Hell yeah, man.
And then, they run into the guy that's eating the watermelon. And then the Beatles are running alongside it. Mister, can we have our ball back?
Oh, man, we're going to do a freaking train supercut.
Another cut with A Hard Day's Night that I could do is there's a moment where Ringo and Paul's grandfather go out on the town, and Paul's grandfather tries to lose Ringo, and he's like, yeah, you shouldn't be out letting them tell you what to do. You should be out rebelling, having a good time. And Ringo goes out. That he's drunk when they film the scene, so he's kind of wobbling about, and it's because he was drunk in real life. But he's just walking along the beach, like awkwardly trying to take a photo of himself, and just like he and a little boy are like kicking a tire along and whatnot. Intercut that with the Normandy invasion. Like as they're like running up the beach, you just cut to Ringo like drunkenly walking along, attempting to take a photo of himself.
Oh my god.
Like he puts the camera on a rock in the water, like just above the water. He's got a wire with the button, and when he hits the button, the camera falls into the water. And then just in the background is the Normandy invasion.
Oh man, it's plenty of content for you guys. Get ready for it, man. But
Connery content.
Oh man, but all right,
dude. His name works with everything.
It does really. But all right, man. So with Connery Curious, thanks again for joining us. I've been Mario Lima.
And I've been Dylan Titus. Thanks again, folks. And remember,
stay curious. Goodbye.
Connery Curious.
You've You've been listening to Connery Curious, a Titus Compositions and Friggin' Nerds Media podcast. Follow us on social media for updates, memes, and clips. Find us on Twitter at CuriousPod007 and on Instagram at Connery Curious. You can also visit Titus Compositions at Titus Compositions to hear other podcasts and original music, watch music videos, or even pick up a great vinyl record. For more discussion and content about your favorite films, comics, games, and a network for all things nerdy, visit Friggin' Nerds Media on Twitter at Friggin' Nerds. You can rate, review, and share the podcast in-app, which helps us grow the show and reach the other curious Connerys out there. Thanks for spending time with us, and have a great day, but also, remember, stay curious.
You know, I think I sneak over there and give it a big wang myself.
Tonight, this afternoon, now.
Why not? What's to lose?
I mean, as soon as I finish this beer.